And ladies, and welcome back to Alan Wake's American Nightmare. I'm your host, Shayde Reynard. In the last episode, we got to Observatory, and one of the characters that I liked, starting off in this, died already. So, I don't know what's here. Oh, there's a radio.
Welcome back, listeners. As you know, I'm Eddie Rodman, and I'm still talking to old gods of Asgard, who are doing their big comeback tour. How's that been going for you? Odin?
Splendid! I'm having the time of my life. You know, I didn't realize how much I missed that.
And what about you, Thor?
It's okay, you know.
Well, this must bring back a lot of memories.
Oh, yeah! It's wonderful to be back on stage. If it wasn't for my knee, I'd feel like a young man again.
Well, speaking of that, I hate to keep harping on this age thing, but I gotta tell you, I've heard your new songs, guys, and you sound really good.
Thank you.
And this may be a touchy subject, but to be blunt, you really don't sound, old. I mean the difference between your speaking voice and your singing voice, it's pretty striking.
What the hell are you talking about? You saying it's not us singing on that record? What? What's he talking about?
No, I'm not saying that, guys, but I can't help noticing the difference.
Son, you're on thin ice. You calling me a liar?
Hey, let me just step in here for a moment, boys. Yeah, they do sound different, but believe me, we're not talking Milli Vanilli here. These guys are the real deal. Why don't you come to the gig tomorrow night and see for yourself? Once they get on that stage, boom, things get real.
Really?
Believe me, they play like they're possessed. It's almost like magic. Look, you see my boys play, you see the old gods for real. These guys project a lot of power. They're not lightweights, you know what I'm saying?
All right, Barry, I'll see if I can make it. Now, let's take another quick break here, and after that, we'll play the new Old Gods of Asgard single. Don't you go away.
I'm so glad they brought them back. Okay then. Not a fan of that. Looks like there's a... Oh, that's an ammo cache. I don't really need that, though. Let's head up this way. Oh, what? Oh, they're coming out of the woodwork, man. Just everywhere. Holy shit. Since I got this distance rifle, it's really not too bad. Not even worried about it. Right here. 15 menu page scripts required. Okay, well, we don't have 15. Open this? No. Oh, there's another page. The thing is, though, like, I don't know where all these pages are at. I know it says there's 80, or there are 53 of them. But, like, I don't know if I missed any when I was in the last area. And I feel crappy if I did. Let's check out the ones that we have, that we've not,
I've seen the enemy, and it's me. I've faced dark horrors before, things that live in the unimaginable pressures of the world beyond our own. Sometimes they masquerade as humans. That's what ultimately lurks inside Mr. He's every mean-spirited tabloid story about me, an evil caricature, a creature formed in that vague territory of misconceptions, half-truths, and the dark imagination of people who heard a story about me. An urban legend made flesh, a serial killer, my dark half, brought to life by the power of Cauldron Lake.
So maybe he's just like a remnant of the darkness that was in Cauldron Lake. Oh, shit. Hi. Okay. It's interesting. Is there anything here? Like, I know there's like a lot of exploring I could do. And I don't want to miss pages, but like... I also don't want to just, you know, be wandering willy-nilly doing absolutely nothing at all. I still don't know, like, why Mr. Scratch exists at all, really. There's another carbine right there. Oh, I think there's a page over here. Yeah, there keeps being a... Yep, there's one. Okay, so we're at the observatory.
Hello?
Hi.
I'm Dr. Rachel Meadows, and... Wait a moment, it's you! I can't believe you dare show your face around here again.
Oh... Whoa. Back off there, pal. Come on now. Alright, we got him. I think.
Go away.
It wasn't me. I just look like him.
Are you serious? That's what you're going with? Please!
I'm trying to stop him. You saw those shadow things trying to kill me, right? I bet he got along with them just fine.
Yes. Yes, he did. All right. Come on in.
Thank you.
Okay. Alright then. I still don't know what we're doing here.
Hey, buddy. I figured I'd take a moment to talk to you. There's a party next door. I'm feeling pretty good right now. A little beer, a little fun, you know? It's nice.
Uh-huh.
Listen, this whole thing between us, it's a little weird for me too, you know? I mean, we don't just look the same, there's a lot we share. I mean, up here. I know you, right? So I was thinking maybe we could...
What's he doing?
These guys are getting out of control.
Sounds like.
Look, I feel like we're both victims of circumstance here. And maybe we could make some kind of effort to...
No. You don't make deals with this. Already put up with enough of the darkness. It's crap. Still don't know what, like, happened with Alice, or what really happened with Alan afterwards. Like, I know this is a Night Springs episode written by Alan. He's gonna go kill them all, I think. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So, this is like an episode written by Alan. But, I don't know. Okay. Psycho. Oh my god. Dude, it's freaking nuts. What a psycho. literally reminds me of Stephen King's Dark Half. If you guys haven't watched Stephen King's Dark Half or read his book, read that story, I suggest it. Highly suggested. It's really good. It's actually one of my favorites.
I didn't expect to see anyone here tonight, but I'm relieved to see an actual person. That's assuming this isn't some kind of cruel trick on your part, of course.
I mean, I'm pretty real. Thanks. I'm not the psycho me. Because that guy's a dick. I want absolutely nothing to do with him. As soon as we can kill him, I plan on it. So. Finish off the last remnant of the darkness. That'd be good. It's one big telescope, man.
Doctor, the man who looked like me, what did he want here?
There's a strange astronomical event happening right now. Something I can't begin to classify, but I think it's disabled our satellite. There's a very peculiar signal that we're receiving.
A signal? That's what I'm here for.
Well, so was he. But he didn't seem to understand it at all. He got very angry, sabotaged our imaging array, and now we're blind. I believe the event is still going on, but we can't pick it up.
Is there something we can do?
What he broke is essentially just a special camera, but we can't use the telescope without it. There's a replacement in my car. If you can get that to me, we're back in business.
Consider it done.
Sure.
Tell me more about the signal.
It's almost as if something's being transmitted to Night Springs. It's the strangest thing. It's quite elusive, almost as if it wasn't properly there. I don't know how to describe it.
So, what was the signal like?
I wish I knew. He appeared before I had a good fix on it. He was very pleasant when I was working, but when I isolated the signal, he suddenly forced me out of the control booth. He said it was none of my business. He seemed to change. Somehow he was very smooth and charming before that, but suddenly he became, I'm sorry. I'm not sure I want to talk about it.
I have to ask, do you always wear that to work?
I was at a party for a local art exhibition.
Okay.
Fascinating works. When I was called away
a little
by
bit
my
personal,
assistant, Michael was the first to spot this event. I don't know where he is now, actually. He was supposed to bring us some food, but he never showed up.
Tell me about the event.
Oh, it's quite fascinating. It looks as if stars were changing, somehow. Or shifting positions. It isn't really happening, of course. Most likely it's caused by some kind of atmospheric refraction phenomenon. But I've never seen anything like it.
Did he hurt you?
No. He didn't quite threaten me exactly, but those shadowy things started to crawl into view, and whatever the signal was, he seemed to be extremely frustrated by it. He just started breaking things and left. I thought it best not to interfere.
You were lucky. He's done much worse.
Yes. He showed me a knife, and he kept talking. He enjoyed the sound of his own voice. A proper maniac. You really aren't anything like him, are you?
Believe me, I try very hard not to be.
That question about him asking her if she wears that to work, that's a little like, come on. Wear whatever the hell you want. She looks really nice in that dress. Rude, Alan. Really rude. And on top of that, with the lab coat, attractive.
Good luck, and try to be careful. It's a very expensive part, and we don't have a replacement.
Sure.
Oh dear, that sounded more callous than I intended. Be safe.
Scientists. Always so, you know, sciencey, straight to the point. Ravenclaws. Don't hate me, I'm a Hufflepuff, okay? Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have to go around. What the fuck is with the spider webs? Uh-uh. No, no. No. Not giant spiders. These weren't here.
Must be your car.
These weren't here. Came in last.
Ugh.
Why? Oh, are these like the birds were? Just burn them away. Reminds me of oh god, oh Jesus. After me. Eat feet, shall we? Oh my god, no. Fucking run for it. Fuck that. Goddamn giant spiders, man. I was gonna say, it reminds me of, I think it was Dragon Age Inquisition,
I found it.
Excellent.
where...
I'll operate the platform directly below the telescope so you can install
Hold
the
up.
array. Don't worry, it's very easy.
So there's a question mark nearby. Or... page in here? That I can maybe, like, run these stairs or something? I don't know. Maybe it's somewhere else. I don't know.
Brilliant, you got it.
Awesome.
I'll just run a quick diagnostic on it. Yes, it's in perfect order.
That light was flickering.
All right, we're good to go. Let's take a look at the skies.
No, you turned out the lights. You bitch. Now you're opening it up? Seriously. Turned out the lights.
I have to shut this down. There's a problem with the automated coolant system. Somebody just interrupted the flow.
So now what?
Well, you could go and open the secondary coolant flow valves manually. I know it's dangerous there, but, well,
I got it.
please come talk to me if you have questions.
Yeah, I do have questions. So, let's just go and talk with her real quick. Literally a bit mad there because, like, she opened that up. There's no lights in here now. I guess there's lights in her little booth, but that's it.
Is there something I should know about this coolant thing?
Oh no, it's quite straightforward. The telescope is very heavy, and moving it generates a lot of heat. So do all of the electronics. Overheating could cause damage, so it shuts down automatically if the coolant fluid isn't flowing. And hot electronics generate instrument noise, which we want to eliminate as much as possible.
What is this coolant anyway? Is it dangerous?
We use liquid nitrogen. It's quite safe.
If I can make it to the valves in one piece.
Yes, there is that. Good luck.
Nitrogen isn't exactly safe. You have to be real careful with it.
I'm assuming you didn't have this kind of trouble using the telescope earlier, when my double was here.
No, it went very smoothly. Until he turned into a nutter. This doppelganger of yours doesn't seem to want anyone else to look at this phenomenon. Honestly, it seems a little pointless to me. There are many eyes on the sky.
I'm not sure what we're gonna get once this thing is working again, but I have a hunch. I doubt it has anything to do with outer space, or that anyone else can see it. I think it's a message for me.
For you? That seems unlikely. And even if it were a very localized phenomenon, surely it's visible to others in the area.
Maybe, but I wouldn't bet on it. There's a reason he came here, and a reason he doesn't want me looking at it.
Okay, then. Well, let's continue on, I guess. I don't know where all these coolant valves are, but we'll find them. This plays a little differently from the first Alan Wake, and it doesn't have the same, like, your type of atmosphere. I was saying about Dragon Age Inquisition, those spiders reminded me of,
Just remember, you need to release all 3 valves.
got
It
it.
doesn't matter what order you do it in.
They reminded me of, beer demons from Dragon Age Inquisition. I think there's a page here. Is a page here? I could have very well missed some pages in the desert when we were there. Because I didn't get to explore a lot of that before we left. That's one of those things about like having like fully open world stuff is like you can miss a lot of things if you're not like being like super thorough. Okay. I don't feel like it's as intense as the other Alan Wake here. I feel like I'm having a lot of easy time. Like I'm not using a lot of my weapons and stuff. Maybe it's because I have it like set on easier difficulty or whatever, but okay. What is this doing? Or you're not. Seriously, knock it off. You don't need that crap around here. No, I've been using the rifle quite a bit. I'm gonna switch over to the submachine gun just because like I've not played around with it much. Also, it seems kind of strange. Like, I mean, like, yeah, we have these like more modern weapons, but they just feel a little out of place. Like the carbine rifle, not so much out of place, but a little. And then the Mag 11 feels pretty out of place because they're kind of like more military-esque grade weapons rather than like regular civilian stuff you'd run across. Cool. I dig this. I dig the submachine gun. It's pretty cool. Like, it's fun.
Okay, that should do it.
It just seems odd that, like, these things would be readily accessible. Just kind of out and about, too. Oh, crap. I think there's gonna be more. Not really what I wanted, but okay. I didn't mean to pop a flare. Thought I had flashbangs. I like using this machine gun, it's fun. Now we have flares. Or not flares, but flashbangs selected. Let's get back up here, and
I released all the valves, Doctor.
Yeah.
Is it working?
Just bear with me a moment. Yes, I believe you've got it sorted. It's
Thank you.
working again. Nicely done.
I don't know if she has an accent or not, but
Trouble. I don't think they're happy with our success.
right.
Look out! They found a way in.
Try a flashbang. Interesting, that didn't kill him like it did in the other one. Ow. Ow.
Hold on a little longer. I've almost got it isolated.
Goodbye. That came in handy. It was really nice for close quarters. Really nice for quarters. I mean, it is a submachine gun, still.
Are you alright? That was intense.
Thanks for turning the lights back on.
Sighted in now. I still have no idea what I'm looking at, but it's very strange indeed. Oh, where are my manners? Please, come on up. I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Well, she's really nice. I actually really like her. She's like a cute little scientist. I love when scientists get like all excited about their work. It's adorable.
Are we receiving the signal now?
Oh yes, it's coming in loud and clear. It's amazing. I'm not sure what it is yet, let alone where it's coming from, but it's interacting with our system somehow, like it was intended for us. But I don't understand how that could be.
Maybe that's just how the story goes.
What?
Never mind. Is there a way I can hear it? Or however this is supposed to work?
I think the signal is incomplete somehow, but you should be getting a printout of it now.
What do you mean it's incomplete?
It's almost as if we're only getting a fragment of it.
I need the whole thing. This is important.
I'm sure it is, but this is all we're getting.
Did the man who looks like me get the whole thing?
He locked me out of the booth, so I have no way of knowing. But I can tell you that he didn't really seem to understand it.
So, what's in the sky?
It doesn't make any sense. The stars are just... they're wrong. I thought I'd be able to see something, but it's like I'm looking at a sky that's just... it's not the right sky. But that's impossible.
I consider myself a rational man, Doctor. But this isn't a thing you can measure or explain. I've seen impossible things that have taught me just to roll with some punches. It's either that, or go insane.
I find it disturbing that you sound like you're speaking from ample experience.
Yeah, that would be kind of disturbing. But the fact is, like, he has. Where's the printout?
A printout
there it
of a
is.
signal. It, too, is a weapon created by the Champion of Light. In its words, stirs a new reality. But it is incomplete. And yet, it provides a roadmap for the man to follow. A course that will lead him to a place where he may confront his enemy.
So we progressed on already. Interesting.
The drive-in. Once the site of lurid celluloid fantasies, it's now the site of an art exhibition. And yet, it's the search for closure rather than culture that brings the Champion of Light here.
Okay. Just Desserts, A Cannibal's Tale, Sunrise, Ham, a documentary, Samurai vs. Conquistador 2, Return of the Conquistador, Mexican Handoff. They sound like really bad movies. But alright, lords and ladies, I hope that you are liking this episode of Alan Wake. We'll continue this on in the next one. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you at the journey's end. Ta-ta.